So the only one so far that requires experience is welcome back again to another video. Yup. So guys, today we'll be talking about New Zealand, one of those countries that we don't really talk about. So I've made a video previously about the new New Zealand work visa that they just introduced, and it's going to be effective from July 4th 2022, right? If you've not seen the video, I'll put in the link in my description box. You will see New Zealand as a playlist. Just click it, any video you want, everything is there. So guys, in today we're talking about New Zealand green list. This New Zealand green list, it has two divisions, and the first one is this one. What is the green list? This green list from the distinct green means more like in UK we have shortage occupation list. So this green list is more like the shortage occupation list, but in this New Zealand shortage occupation list, it has two divisions. Just like in New Zealand we have so in UK we have UK shortage occupation list, and then we have UK eligible occupation list for skilled work visa. Something is so it's actually somehow like it. I think in New Zealand even active. So in this green list, what is the essence of this green list, right? This green list, then when your occupation is found on this green list, you don't need advertisement for the job. Once you just see an employer or this, you can just apply for residence permit. You don't even need, the employer does not need to advertise that, oh, I need somebody. You know, literally when you want to hire anybody from outside your country or outside New Zealand, you have to prove to your government that you do not see anybody in New Zealand. But if your job is in this occupation, just like the UK shortage, you don't have to prove to any home office that, oh, you did that advert, you did not see person or anything. You don't have to demonstrate anything. As long as your detail is there, no need for advertisement. The other thing is there is no need for any job check, whether the employer plays advert, whether it's not there. The only thing is you should just reach the minimum required. They never say maximum. This one is not point based or anything, not point based. As long as you meet the minimum requirements, which we're going to be talking about. Then another thing about this green list occupation is fast track to residency, my dear. And as I say, they have 2 years. This occupation, if your occupation is here, you have fast track to residency in 2 years. Some is less than 2 years. We'll be talking about that. Then another thing, so this green list is according to the NZQF, New Zealand Qualification Framework. You don't even need that one. So it's going to be effective from 4th of July, and you can apply for residency from September 2022. So that's why I said I made a video earlier about New Zealand talent accredited employer visa. Come watch that video. So if your occupation is on this list, just go and watch that visa. Just go and watch that video, right? You just apply directly. There's no need to do, just more like Canada PR. There's no need to do all this job search and everything. Just get an employer, send your this thing, and that's it. They'll just do this thing for you. So what are the basic requirements? The minimum requirement is vocational qualification. Now I've always told you guys, now Momo they go university. University is not a scam, but there are some jobs that just with vocational qualification you will find. Then maybe when you're working as a vocational qualification, this thing, you can now advance your study for this thing for master. So the minimum is vocational qualification. So whether you went to school, BSc, this thing, anything, and that vocational qualification, I think it has to be from 120 credit upward. So not all this vocational qualification that you just can do for one school and this thing should be like maybe from a technical school, and but then it depends on this thing, right? Vocational qualification, that's the minimum, and that's the minimum requirement. So this vocational qualification, it has some jobs that is limited to, and there are some jobs that you work for, and that's what I've always said. There are some jobs that vocational qualification you are just fine for it, while there are some minimum is BSc, while there are some minimum is diploma. So they accept vocational qualification, they accept diploma, they accept BSc, they accept masters, depending, and it should be relevant in the experience. And the another thing I actually like about this green list is they did not talk about experience. I did not see any experience there. So probably you can actually move there without experience. But they said as long as, that's what they wrote in their ways, as long as you meet the minimum requirements. But to me, I used to tell, when it comes to all this immigration sweet mouths, it's always good to have at least experience to actually boost your points, because nobody will take you from outside your country to come and be working for them without experience, you know. But they said minimum, as long as you reach the minimum requirement, that is it. And the minimum requirement is all this, your vocational, diploma, BSc, this thing. So now they have 2 types of green list. The first one is fast track what's it called, fast track occupations, and the next one is work to residence. So this fast track is, normally their residency is 2 years, but then if your occupation is in this fast track occupation list, that one you can get your residency whether in 1 year, whether in 6 months. In fact, you can get the thing is, for this fast track occupation, you can get your residency from Nigeria. Like, they say you can start applying for your residency from September 2022. So from that September 2022, once you apply, you are getting your PR directly. So before you even enter New Zealand, you don't get your PR already. Whereas the second type of occupation, that one you have to wait up to 2 years. So what I'm trying to say, that one is eligible. So it is after 2 years you can now apply for it. I hope you understand. So one is automatic. One group of occupation is automatic permanent residency. Another group is you are eligible, but first come first. You first spend 2 years first before we give you. I hope you understand that. So that's the two division of green list occupation, but overall everybody is eligible. Not everybody. These occupations are eligible. We have some that is fast track. So once they now say fast track residency, right? So that means these ones, they are in extreme shortage, and that's why they put that residency to attract you to come. In fact, you'll be surprised at some of these occupations here. So that fast track is come fast, come fast, anything to attract you people. We want you to come. So that's the fast track. Don't confuse me. Fast track occupations. So now under this fast track one, that this one come sharp, we want you to come. What are the ones? We have 5 categories under it. 5. So the first one on my list, first one does not mean that's the most important one. The first one on my list, the first category is construction. Under this construction, the minimum requirement for construction that I've seen so far is BSc. Yeah, is BSc. That's the minimum requirement. And even in this thing, right? Okay, that's the minimum I see, minimum qualification for construction. Though I'm putting a link on my screen now, you can go and check it yourself. But I decided to just take it and explain it so that when you get it, it's easy for you to understand what I've explained. So construction, the first on my list is construction manager, construction project manager, project builder, quantity surveyor, and quantity surveyor or surveyor or anything. So that's the construction. If you know you're involved in construction, the 3 people that are eligible for fast track is construction project manager, project builder, quantity surveyor, and that's it. So the next category on our list that is eligible for fast track sharp residency is engineering engineering professionals and technicians. So whether you are the engineer professional and technician, right? You know that for engineer, if you're a professional engineer, that means you have to have BSc. But then if you're a technician, you have to have vocational or diploma, right? I hope you understand that. So in engineering, what are types of engineering that we have? And some of this engineering is one of those I have talked about you should do, and there are some that I've condemned. Please, if you're watching this video and I talk about some engineering courses, I have a video that is coming up about some useless engineering courses. Engineering course is kind of restricted to countries. There are some engineering here that is not generally acceptable, right? Like you not get a job outside any country. So if I mention these courses, don't feel like, oh, that means this course is in hot cake. No, it can just be in hot cake in New Zealand. I do not agree to some of these their lists. I do not agree to that because I have a video that is coming up. I'm talking about engineering courses. For me, according to my research, they are just TV engineering courses. You should actually find yourself. In fact, 2.5. That last one, it be bend. Okay, TV. It was 4, but this 4th one is bending because it's country restricted. Anything aside that 4, anything concerning engineering, no do one. If they dash you, tell them say you know they do. So, but New Zealand is trying to feel like okay, they need everything. But some of this engineering, if you have it, you can't work in some place like UK. UK no even need you. So it's always better to actually do a general engineering course or a general course because you can't plan your life and just direct it to one direction of your country. Anything can happen. They can say anything can just happen. You might want to migrate to anything. So let me just say. So this engineering, right? Either you're a professional or you're a technician, but in that view, your minimum you should have is vocational qualification for technician, right? And again, oh, I forgot, another requirement is they require you to be registered with their New Zealand license body. So whether you're an engineer, whether you're this thing, you have to be registered with their body. But anyways, if you don't know how to go about it, you can just send your application for the employer or anything. They can help you with the registration and every other thing. Maybe I'll be making another separate video on that. So for engineering, we have chemical engineering, we have material, we have civil, we have imagine material. I never heard that engineering before. Imagine if somebody is in the engineering. Well, material, we have civil, we have geotechnical engineering, structural engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, environmental engineering, industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, production engineering, and plant engineering. Anything else hide that the engineer not there. So those are the type of engineer that is eligible for fast track residency. And this one, the minimum is vocational qualifications, diploma and BS, and then you have to be registered with their New Zealand body. And then another restriction is, they say if you have BSc, there are some countries that they accredit their engineer, and as I say, this engineering here, it can't be, but just try. I just saw it on their list that they have some countries that is eligible. UK gonna even did the list. UK was not even the list of countries that they accept their engineering degree. So in that view, you have to do equivalence. They have level 4, level clinical. So before you do anything, you have to send your document to an equivalent body, and in that view, you have to first check the body that is doing the registration to check the equivalent body that is using. So you have to send your document, then they have to equivalence if it's equivalent to New Zealand standard before you'll be able to register with them. So the next category on our list is health and social care. So in this health and social care, this ones that are eligible for fast track permanent residencies: general practitioners, that we know as doctors, we have anesthetists, we have psychiatrists, we have physicians, we have surgeons, and these surgeons we have general surgeons, cardiothoracic surgeons, neuro, orthopedic surgeons, and vascular surgeons. So not be all surgeons if you go, you see. Then the next one is we have neurologists, we have otorhinolaryngologists. I told you guys that in that video that when you get to New Zealand, most population in New Zealand, most of them are auditory impaired, right? Otorhinolaryngologists, dermatologists, diagnostic and interventional radiologists, radiation oncologist, resident medical officer, medical laboratory scientists, clinical psychologists, educational psychologists, organizational psychologists, psychotherapists, medical physicists, orthopedists, veterinarian. Do you guys see that even medical lab scientists is actually eligible for fast track permanent residency? Even the nurse did not even make the list. Yeah, nurse did not even make. So we have some countries that they have shortage of nurses, and we have some countries that did not have shortage of nurses. And that's why I keep telling people, in everything you do, make sure you study a course that is generally shortage everywhere. So anywhere you go, they rush you. Nurses did not actually make the list for fast track residency. Medical lab in Nigeria, they sell hair, they are selling skincare products. Can you guys imagine? So you have to always make your research. Yeah? So the next category on our list is primary industries and science roles. So these ones, we have environmental research scientists, we have food technologists. Imagine, even food technologists, they made the list. But in general sense, food technologists is not a generally acceptable career. It is limited, is restricted, yeah. But then if you're a food technologist, God have help you. So the next category on my list is ICT, electronics and telecommunications. So under it, we have the Chief Information Officer, ICT Project Manager, ICT manager, software engineer, ICT security specialist, multimedia specialist. So those are the occupations that is eligible for fast track residency in New Zealand. So these next divisions, they are eligible, and this eligibility is going to be what? After 2 years. So the first one on this is health and social care, right? Under this health and social care service, we have the anesthetist technician, we have the medical imaging technologist, we have the medical laboratory technician, right? We have the medical radiation therapist, we have the occupational therapist, we have the sonographer, we have the podiatrist, we have the audiologist, we have the registered nurse, and in that registered nurse, they have type. They have registered nurse for aged care, they have for child, family, community, critical care and emergency, developmental ability, disability and rehabilitation, mental, medical, perioperative, surgical, pediatrics, midwife, and then I think general nurse. Then the next on my list after that, health and social care. For the social care, we have secondary school teacher. So in this secondary school teacher, they have division again. So you'll be able, for that secondary school teacher that is eligible for residency, we have science. You should be able to either any of these subjects, or you teach any of these subjects. So we have chemistry, biology, physics, agric, horticulture, health and space science. Then the next division that you should be able to teach is mathematics. In that mathematics, we have statistics and calculus. So the next division under secondary school teacher is technology. Under technology, if you want to be a secondary school teacher that is eligible for residency in New Zealand, is we have digital, we have computer, we have construction, we have mechanical, we have material and processing technology. So the next category under secondary school teacher that is eligible for residency is Pacific language, like Tokealu, we have New, we have Cook Islands, we have Samoa, we have Tonga, we have Tuvalu, we have Fiji, we have Vituma. I'll type it on the screen there. So another type of school teacher that is eligible for residency is early childhood teacher, and this one we have the pre-primary school teacher. Anything outside that, so this pre-primary school teacher, you can teach any subject, anything, as long as you're a pre-primary school teacher, you're eligible for residency in New Zealand. Then the next category on my list is trade. So in this trade, all you need is just, in this teacher, you actually need, maybe I'm making another separate video on that, you need their registration and all of that. So in this category, in this trade, you just need just vocational course, and then you're good to go. So this ones that are eligible for residency. So in that view, we have the automotive electrician, like if you're an electrician that works on car, in Nigeria they call them rewire. The next one is motor mechanic. The next one is electrician, general electrician. Then we have plumber. Here they see the list. Then the next then the last one is agricultural roles. And these agricultural roles, we have just one that is eligible for residency, which is the dairy cattle farmer. So whether the dairy cattle farmer manager or assistant, that is eligible. And in this one, it came with a requirement, which is 3 years experience. That one they added it. So other ones, they don't care if you have experience or not, but like I used to tell you, it's better to actually have experience to actually boost your point. So the only one so far that requires experience is this dairy cattle farm managers, which requires 3 years experience. So in Nigeria, if you find dairy manager now, to go and call those, all those aboki to come and apply. So guys, that's the list of occupation in the New Zealand green occupation list that is eligible for fast track residency or eligible for residency after 2 years. This is not to rule out other occupations. But these occupations, when they see you applying for it, they fast track your visa, they fast track your resident permits, and you get job easily. More like shortage occupation list. Any other jobs aside from that, I think you have to do like this before you get a job. But then even pharmacists, they do not make the list. Can you imagine? Pharmacists too, they do not make the list. Life. Lawyers, they do not make the list. Life. So, but that does not rule out you can't get jobs here. You can, but then your residency. Did I say lower? So guys, in my next video I'm talking about companies that are actually hiring foreigners, right? So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.